Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Susan. Today I want to share with you on how to draft a bustier pattern. So these are the samples of it, and for you to make a dress, for you to make a blouse, you actually need to know how to draft a bustier pattern. So today I'm going to take you on step by step on how you can get it, and also the challenges and how to maneuver. So if this sounds like what they like to learn, stay on the line, guys, while we get started. For us to start, we are going to divide our shoulder measurement divided by 2. And what I added it there. I actually add 7.05, and that's what I input there. Then I'm going to take my neck width of 3 inches and my neck depth of 3 inches also, and I'm going to also connect it. It's going to be a round neck, so I'm going to cuff it this way, and that's a round neck. So from there I'm going to take my bust point, that's my shoulder, to my bust point, which is 10, shoulder to my under bust, which is 13.05, my shoulder to my waistline, which is 15.05. That my waistline is also saving as my arm length, so I just added about 1.05 for my stitching allowance at the down part. So this is what we have, guys. What we have. So I'm just going to go ahead now to label. So this is my bust point, and this is my under bust point, and my waistline, and also my hemline. So now that we have these points already, we are going to go ahead now to impute our dart. So our dart is a nipple to nipple divided by 2. So from the other point of your bust to the other point, that's your nipple to nipple. So just place your tape and measure it. So when I was done, what I had is 7. So 7 divided by 2, that's 3.05. So at my bust point, I came in by, I added half inch to it, and that is 4 inches. At the waistline, I added my exactly nipple to nipple, which is 3.05, and I'm just going to connect from the under bust point, which is 3.05. I'm going to connect it down to that 4 inches. You can see there is a slight curve there, so I'm just, it's not a straight line. So this is it. This is what we have. So after that, we are going to go ahead now to take our dart for the shoulder. Remember, it's a shoulder dart. So you know we're already taking our neck depth. So what we are going to do right now, we are going to divide the midpoint of our shoulder. So whatever you have at the midpoint of your shoulder, you just mark it there, and from there you're going to connect from here down to this other point, first point. So I'll just do that with a straight, I connect it straight down to meet there. So that's it. So at that point, that's where we are going to take our shoulder dart. So that's where we're going to input our dart on the shoulder. Let's go ahead and take our dart on the waistline and also hemline. So what I did is that I'm going to take my dart of 2 inches. So I'm going to take half inch away from this other side, and on this other side I'm going to take 1.05 inches at this other side. So that's going to be like 2 inches. So if your bust is a bigger bust, you can use 2.5. Mine is a medium size bust, so I'm going to use 2. If your bust, it depends on how big your bust is and how big, you know, the bigger you go, that's how bigger the cup will go. So this is we trying to form the cup. So if, imagine if I took 3, so the cup is going to be big. So my bust is a medium sized bust, so that's why I just took 2 inches, which is okay for me. So I took half on this other side and half on the other side. So if your bust is big, you can take one on this other side, then 2 on the other side. That's it. So right now I'm going to come down by 1 inch at the bust point, just so we can have a smooth curve, because I don't want it to be pointy at any way. So from there I'm just going to connect from the under bust. I'm going to connect it to that point. So I'm just going to go ahead now to connect it with a smooth curve. So we're just going to connect it this way, and we're also going to turn our ruler and we also connect it down to this way. This is so we have cups on both sides. This other side is not going to be that big, so we're going to have cups on both sides. But if you don't want cup on both sides, that means you're going to take 2 inches on the other side and you're not going to take any inch on this other side. So we'll come to our shoulder and we take half an inch. We are going to take our shoulder depth of 2 inches. So we're going to take also half an inch on this side and 1.5 at the other side. So at the underboard you come up by half inch, and you're going to also connect it this way. Connect this way. Also connect the half. Go ahead and connect it down to that point and also. So guys, I want to use this opportunity to thank my returning subscribers. Thank you so much guys for your support. And to you that just came across my channel, please subscribe, hit the notification button, and please like this video. Thank you. I came up by 2 inches from my bust point, and that's going to be my armhole. So I'll just take my shoulder measurement plus the 2 inches that we took out as that. So that's going to be 9.05. So that is it. So that's same 9.05 that is here at the shoulder, we're also going to make sure that we have it at that armhole point. So that's what we're going to have. So we are going to make sure that we also have it at the armhole point. So that is it, 9.05. So we're just going to connect it with a straight line, and that's going to save as our armhole. So we're going to come down by, you can see already. So we're just going to connect it this way. Just connect it down. After that, we are going to also connect that way. Just draw a line. Then from there we are going to come down. I want to come down by half inch. I want to slope by half inch. So that's it. So from that half inch, I'll just connect it to my. I'll go ahead and look for the midpoint of the armhole, and I'm going to come in there by half an inch, and from that half an inch I'm going to connect. Then I'll just connect from the armhole. I'll just connect it this way, and I'll also connect it down to the other part of our armhole. So for you to get your armhole, you can just come up from your chest point by 2 inches, or you divide your bust point by 6, and whatever you have you add 1.5 to it. So right now I'm going to take my body measurement. So my bust divided by 4 plus 2 inches allowance. So I'll just take my underbust also divided by 4. Then I'm going to replace the 2 that we took out. I'm going to replace it. Underbust divided by 4. So what I have is 7.05. So I'm just going to also replace it. Then I'll take my normal 2 inches allowance. At my waistline, I'll take my waist measurement divided by 4 plus this 2 inches allowance that we took out for our dart. Then I'll add 2 inches for stitching allowance. Then I'm just going to go ahead now to connect this one. Connect it that way. At this bust point, I actually added about 3 inches allowance. Because I added 2 inches for my stitching allowance, and I added extra half an inch. I added 2.05 over there. Yes, that's because I want to be on the safe side. So that's why I added 2.5 inches at that bust point, and the rest of the places is 4 inches, guys. So that's it. So I'll go ahead and take 1 inch for my back neck depth, because I'm going to place this on the back and I'm going to cut it. So I'm just going to connect it this way. So that's it. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. So I'll just cut everything. Then let me go ahead now to work on the back pattern. So I just went ahead to cut about 2 inches away, a mark about 2 inches away, and that is going to be our zipper. So let's go ahead now, take our bust dart. Bust dart is the difference between your front waistline and your back waistline. So when I was done dividing, you can place your tape on the front and measure, then place it on the back and also measure. So when I was done, what I have is 1.05. So I'm going to take 1.05 back out of my front, because the sides are also not equal, they are not straight, and they are smaller than the front, because the front has a bust and the side does not have. So we need to take this to eliminate any bulge or excesses at the waist, and that's also the length we are going to be using for the back. So that is it. So I'll go ahead and keep the front pattern aside while I'm going to go ahead for the back pattern. So I'm going to take my shoulder measurement divided by 2. As for the back, I'm going to take my shoulder measurement divided by 2. All these measurements I'm taking is from the zipper. I'm not taking, the zipper is not part of it. So it's 7.05. Then I'm going to add 1 inch. The reason why I'm adding this 1 inch at the back is because it's going to be a tear, like I'm going to cut it and I'm going to join it back. So from there, I'm just going to take my underbust point. I'll take my measurement the same way I took for the front. I'm going to take just at the back, I'm going to take measurement for the chest line. So I just came down by my underbust, I come down by my waistline, and I'm going to add my allowance for aiming at the down, and I'm just going to go ahead now to connect the lines together. After that, from the chest line, I'm just going to cuff here. That's already my armhole, guys. We did it at the front. We don't need of us to be wasting time over it again. So I'm just going to slope my shoulder by half an inch, just the same way we did for the front. And after that, I'm going to look for the midpoint of the armhole. And when I was done, we're just going to go ahead now to cuff it and connect it over to that point, which is our bust point. That is, which is our bust measurement. So we'll just go ahead now to extend that line over to the side. Guys, these are the things we did already in the other side on the front. So I'm going to take my nipple to nipple plus half an inch. Nipple to nipple plus half an inch. That's 4, and I'm going to draw a straight line over there, because I'm going to impede my dart, half inch on both sides, half inch on the underbust, half inch on every other places. So half inch over here also. So when I was done, I'm just going to go ahead now to draw a straight line across, just like this. So from there, I'm going to go ahead now to extend this line straight to the chest line. From there, I'm just going to go ahead and connect my dart, connect it down to that place, and also connect it down to the chest line. So this is it. I'm just going to blend it because I actually made a mistake when I was connecting. So after that, guys, we are going to go ahead now at the shoulder. We're going to extend that line at the shoulder. You can stop here and take your normal dart, but I don't want to do that because this is like a madam style. So you have to give it that madam nature. So I'll just connect it this way. We are going to connect. If you like, you can tear up to three places you get, as long as you keep adding your allowances back, like what you say out, you add it, you have add 1 inch back that you're going to use to, you know, replace it. So I just go ahead and take my bust measurement plus 2 inches allowance. I just do that. Then I also take my underbust measurement plus the 1 inch that we took out. Then I also take my underbust measurement plus the 1 inch, my waist measurement plus the 1 inch, and plus 2 inches extra allowance. That's going to be like 3 inches at that part. So that's it. So guys, at the zipper, I'm going to come in by half an inch because I don't want it to bulge out. So that half an inch, I'm also going to replace it back there. I replace it back. So I just said, let me show you guys that. So all these things are the things that after you finish making your dress will come out very, very fine. You will not see excesses and all of that. So just connect it that way. So that's why you're not seeing that place is having curve, is because of those allowances. So this is it. So what we're going to do now, from that half inch, we're just going to connect it back to this first point that way. So you remember our bus that we took, that's about 1.05 that we took. We are going to also remove it over here. This is why sometimes after making a bustier, you notice that the other side is bigger and this other side is longer. So you're going to remove it. You can remove it now or maybe when you're done sewing. Just make sure it corresponds at the sides. So these sides are going to, by the time you take this bust that, it's going to correspond to this other side at the sides. The front of the front side, that's the folded part, is not going to, it's going to still be the normal length, but the sides are going to be small because that place is actually small. Even our back is very small, just like my own. So remember that when you're cutting, the center front is going to be on fold. So that is it. This is all that we have. When you're done, you see that everything will just correspond, guys. So this is what we have, and we have come to the end of our tutorial today. Please like, share and comment. Please engage, and see you in my next one. Bye. Thanks for watching.